Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you for checking us out. We appreciate your support. First of all, I just want to say I apologize for not having a video out the last couple of weeks. Family and I have been on traveling with the family, summer vacations, visiting some family. So apologize for not getting a video out during that period of time. But we're back and we're going to be having continuous content be put out. So we appreciate your support. We appreciate you checking out the channel. So want to talk a little bit about some recent events that took place along over the 4th of July weekend. I don't know if everyone's heard about this, but there's been cocaine found in the White House. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Cocaine in the White House. So as you can probably imagine, the first inclination is to think, oh, well, was it Hunter Biden? Well, we will never know. But with that being said, I want to play and react to some clips of the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, asking questions from reporters. So here we go.
And secondly, per the intrigue over the holiday, can you give any more details on where the Secret Service found the cocaine in West Wing and how it happened?
So, as you know, this is under the purview
Just so you know, just be ready. She's not going to answer any of these questions. She never answers any questions.
of the Secret Service. They are currently investigating what happened over the weekend, so I would have to refer you to the Secret Service on all of this. But one thing that I can share, that I'll share a little bit more information. As you know, the President and the First Lady and their family were not here this weekend, as you all reported on this, and as you also know that they left on Friday and returned just yesterday. Where this was discovered is a heavily traveled area where many White House, West Wing, I should be even more specific, West Wing visitors.
Just because they weren't there during that period of time doesn't mean Hunter Biden wasn't there prior visiting them and no one looked or no one checked until then.
Come through this particular area. I just don't have anything more to share. It is under investigation by the Secret Service. This is in their purview, and so we're going to allow certainly the investigation to continue, and we have confidence that the Secret Service will get to the bottom of this. Go ahead.
The President said, hey, let's get to the bottom of what happened here.
Well, I just said that we have confidence that the Secret Service is going to get to the bottom of this. As you all know, the President follows all.
But you'll never find out. You'll never find out. It'll never be reported who it belonged to.
The reporting here, and he certainly was briefed by his staff on everything that we know so far, but the Secret Service is investigating this, is investigating what happened over the weekend, and we have confidence that they will get to the bottom of this.
Thanks, Karine. Just two quick follow-ups. You said the President has been briefed on the cocaine that was found at the White House. Is the White House conducting its own internal investigation?
This is something that's under the purview of the Secret Service.
So the answer is no.
This investigation, so it lives in their purview, in their world.
And just a quick follow-up on this type of tour. Can you explain to the American people who would have access to the West?
I'm just curious because I never visited the White House before. Maybe you can put it down in the comments section below. But don't they screen people before they enter the White House for any sort of drug paraphernalia, any sort of weapons or anything of that nature? Let me know down below.
On this type of tour and what kind of protocols are in place?
So look, when it comes to security protocol, that's something that the Secret Service certainly is going to handle, and so that is a question for them. When it comes to visitors to the West Wing, they come for many reasons. Obviously, we do have West Wing tours that occur here on campus. They happen in this particular past couple of days. They happen on Friday, they happen on Saturday, and Sunday. The times that they do not happen is when there's a federal holiday, like yesterday, there was not a West Wing tour, and also when there's a large White House event. So I don't have anything more to share on the particulars. Again, when it comes to security, when it comes to anything of those types of protocols, that is something that Secret Service handles.
She doesn't know she doesn't know what the basic security is like entering the White House or that area. I find that hard to believe. And shouldn't there be a log of people who enter that area if there's only a handful of folks who can actually have access to that area? And handful, I don't mean actually like 5 people. I just mean a limited amount of people.
Congratulations. Should I call you President Asia?
I appreciate it. Sure.
I was waiting. I was like, okay, that went over the head or got missed.
It's not my turn.
One president at a time, Rachel.
Actually,
Incoming president, maybe.
we just, I wonder if the cocaine episode has prompted the White House to ask the Secret Service to review its security protocol for visitors coming in.
So let's go, let them do their investigation. Again, this is under their purview. Let's see exactly what
Right,
occurred,
but the
what happened.
investigation is just who did the cocaine belong to? What she's asking is, because of the incident, is there any sort of reason why the White House would change or want to change their security protocol to prevent this from happening? I don't think that's an unreasonable question, and I don't know why she really couldn't answer that. The answer really should be yes. They should change if that's the case.
Happened. They're going to get to the bottom of this.
She just punts everything off. She doesn't answer any questions, ever.
Of any changes in protocol or anything like that. Let's let the Secret Service do their job, which we believe, and have all the confidence that they will get to the bottom of this.
Episode kind of shines a light on the fact that you can bring in illegal substances into the White House. So what's preventing
Only if you're a Biden.
a visitor from bringing in anthrax or something that's
Right.
not magnetic into the White House?
No, look, Risha, I totally understand the question, but it is under investigation.
Right,
Get
but
to
she's
the
not
bottom of
asking
exactly
about.
what happened.
But she's not asking about the specifics to the investigation. She's asking specifically about what they would want to do to change White House protocol to prevent stuff like this from occurring, which is completely independent from the investigation.
Happen. The Secret Service will, not us. And so we're going to let the Secret Service do their job. We're just not going to get ahead of if or whens or changes.
You never get it.
We just
You
have
you
to
don't
let the
answer
Secret
anything
Service do
ever,
their
so
job,
it doesn't
which
matter.
they are. You're welcome.
Can you just tell us how the White House is assisting the Secret Service with this investigation? Have you made any White House officials available?
Well, we can't really get into
for
that.
interviews with law enforcement,
Bet you
for
that's what the
example?
answer is.
Look, we're not assisting in anything. This is under the Secret Service purview. This is their kind of guidance and guideline, their world, and so we're going to let them do their job. We are not involved in this. This is something that the Secret Service handles under their protocol, and they are going to investigate and get to the bottom of what happened this weekend, and we appreciate that.
And you noted that this is an area where visitors on tour groups often pass by. So is that the working theory right now, that it was likely a visitor? And are you confident that this was not a White House staffer?
There is investigation. They're going to get to the bottom of this. What I wanted to be very clear is that this is a heavily traveled, to be more accurate, area of the campus of the White House, and it is where visitors to the West Wing come through. This is the part where they come through when it comes to coming through the West Wing. I just don't have anything else. I'm not going to speculate on who it was, but just wanted to make that very clear and give you all a little bit more information. I believe the Secret Service is also sharing this as well.
And then just one, again, on the discovery of cocaine. Are there concerns that
I find it fascinating. These questions are not going away. They're not going away until somebody is held accountable. For once, the White House press corps is actually doing their job.
an illicit substance was brought into the White House and not detected by security? Obviously, every guest that enters the White House goes through airport-like security. I'm wondering if just generally if there's concerns about the ability of
So let's let the Secret Service do their investigation. Again, this is under their purview. They're going to look into all the things of what happened over the weekend. I just don't want to get ahead of that. Clearly, the Secret Service is in charge of security on campus, and so I would really refer you.
So here's a bright idea. Next time you have a press conference, bring somebody from the Secret Service or somebody who is involved in the investigation to ask or to answer questions.
To them on this, please. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, thank you. If the Secret Service determines who brought the cocaine into the White House, does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here. Let the Secret Service do their job.
What they
It's
talk
under
about
their
and what they
purview.
do are
We
two
confident
totally
that they'll
separate
get to the
things.
bottom of it. I'm just not going to get it.
Hunter Biden years ago used to say, if you were caught with just a little bit, 2 ounces or whatever it is of cocaine, you need to go to jail. Yet his son's a fucking crackhead who snorts crack and, off hookers.
Ahead of this at this time. Okay.
So Secret Service officials are actually cautioning that they might not find the person involved because it is such a busy thoroughfare. So if they don't get to the bottom of it, as you're saying, would the president be satisfied with, sir, this is a busy room and found some cocaine. We don't know who brought it.
So let's see what the Secret Service says, right? Again, this is under investigation. Don't want to get into hypotheticals while investigation is going on and is happening at this time. Just not going to get ahead of it. Let Secret Service do their job.
If I were anywhere on the complex, what is the process like for me if I want to bring? Can you just lay out, to the extent that you can, the process for, if I want to bring in family or friends as somebody who works here? Do I go to somebody in the White House? Do I go immediately to the Secret Service and say, hey, I want to
She
do
ain't
this?
going to answer
How
that
does
question.
work?
Are you
So there's a
crazy?
specific process. I'm happy to share that with you. I want to make sure I get it right, so I'm not certainly going to lay that out right at this time. But there is a process, as one of your colleagues mentioned. Everybody does go through a process to come on campus. They do get vetted. They go through a security process. As it relates to the security piece of it, I would have to refer you.
But
to
if you're
Secret
abiding with
Service.
cocaine, you can get
Certainly,
on
someone
no
from my
questions
team can
asked.
certainly lay out. I think some of you may understand this process, as some of you may not have hard pass, and you know how this all works. But just not. I just want to make sure I get this right. So happy to share that with you after the briefing. Go ahead, Steve.
Just to clarify for us, where exactly inside the West Wing the substance was discovered?
I'm not going to get into specifics. What I can say is when people visit the West Wing, there is the area of the West Wing where it is highly traveled, and that is what happens. People
She
come
sounds
through
like
this
Kamala
particular
Harris.
area. It's highly traveled. I'm just not going to get into specifics.
There's an
I'm not
area
gonna get
that's highly
into,
traveled by people who travel
not
through
gonna
that
get
area.
ahead of the Secret Service, and so I'll let them speak to that.
There are a couple of primary entrances into the West Wing. There's the one with which we're all familiar, right outside the driveway where the Marine stands when the president's in the West Wing, and there's another entrance off West Executive Avenue. Can you explain which entrance we're talking
I'm
about?
going to let the Secret Service speak to that.
Can you explain why you can't explain it? I mean, you described it as a heavily traveled area.
That's what I'm just saying what the Secret Service said. We got this from the Secret Service, so I'm sharing a little bit more with you from here. But again, it's under their purview, it's under investigation. They will have more specifics down the road as they are looking into this. We are confident that they will get to the bottom of this, and so I'm just going to leave it to them.
This was discovered late on Sunday. What's the latest staff-led tours that happen in the West Wing on Sunday?
I don't have the specific on how late the staff tours, staff-led tours go. But I
God,
can
she
tell
doesn't
you
have
that there was
specifics
one
on
Friday,
anything.
There was one on Saturday, there was one on Sunday. The times that there are not any West Wing tours is when there is a federal holiday, like yesterday, or a big a large White House event. Just don't have the specifics. Let's let the Secret Service get to the bottom of this. They'll have more.
They know who it
more
belonged to.
information, and we have confidence that they will be able to figure this all out. So we're going to give them the space to do that. Go ahead, Emily.
Excuse me, as you've now been referring multiple times to this investigation and to the White House's confidence that they will get to the bottom of it, I'm wondering if you could be a bit clearer about what exactly the scope and mission of the investigation is and what exactly getting to the bottom of it means. Is this simply a fact-finding mission to determine whether potential security protocols were either insufficient or violated in this case?
She's not going to answer that. That's too good of a question. She's not going to answer that. She's going to tell you about the Secret Service.
Substance into the West Wing, and would there then be consequences either for that individual or if they were a guest of the White House staff or that staff?
So look, the second part of your question is like speculation, and I'm just not going to get into speculation from here. What I can say is that, again, Secret Service is looking into this. They're looking into what
fucking
happened
idiot.
over the weekend. I'm just not going to jump into speculation.
Oh,
as to
God, the
what-
people who run
what
our
their,
country.
Investigation will find and what we will do or what will happen. Just not going to get into speculation from here.
Lastly,
I could work for government. The only thing I have to do is just say, I'm not going to get into it from here. Sorry, I'm not going to get into it from here. Sorry, I'm not going to get into it from here. Sorry, that's just speculation. I'm not going to get into it from here. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to say to work for the government.
That was found. Following up on Tyler's question, one thing that you're not expressing is concern over the fact that this was found on the property. And I guess I'm wondering how expressing concern would somehow get ahead of a Secret Service investigation.
I think this is being investigated. It's under the purview of the Secret Service. We're going to let them get to the bottom of this and see what happened. I'm just not going to get ahead of it. Just not. So I'll just leave that from here. Okay.
Will any White House staffers be undergoing drug testing as part of this investigation?
That's
So,
up to the
as you
Secret
know,
Service.
Again, this is under the purview
Oh.
of the Secret Service. But a couple
God.
of things I would add is that White House is subject to rigorous guidelines that include drug testing. And so we will take any action that is appropriate and warranted pending the outcome of the Secret Service. Just not going to get.
All right, guys. I think we've seen enough here. Listen, at the end of the day, you're never going to get a response from these folks ever. So we can all put two and two together. We probably know who it belonged to. Obviously, you're never going to find out whether or not it did belong to Hunter Biden, but we can all assume and we can all allege that it was probably Hunter Biden's. Anyway, I want to know what you all think down below. Leave a comment. If you enjoyed these videos, please give us a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. We certainly appreciate your support. And again, we have more videos like this coming. Real quick, one thing too. Please check out the community tab on the page. We were on the Business Party podcast and would love for you to check it out and help support our fellow creators. So again, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.